Greetings, family. It's Empress D in nature. Yeah, obviously enjoying nature as usual, and also trying to be an example for you guys to try it out and enjoy nature too. Anyway, family, this is what's up. So, I used to be a nurse practitioner. I once was a nurse practitioner. I am now retired from that field. Never to return, family. Now, I haven't arrived at this retirement by planning and by choice. It's kind of, I've been forced into it, right? So I'm sure many of you watching already have heard my story in that I was a nurse practitioner for many, many years. I was an RN since 1999. I became a nurse practitioner in 2009. And then in 2019, I became a master's prepared nurse practitioner, which is the standard now. But when I graduated, I was the last class that graduated with a certificate. So I went back and I got my master's. So that's been my educational tenure. Now, in terms of my professional tenure, I was a nurse practitioner forever, and I absolutely loved it. And I would have never imagined retiring from the field so early because I loved it. And I actually thought I was good at it. And in retrospect, I see that I was really good at it. But anyway, family, in September of 2021, I started offering a COVID-19 vaccine education session online. What I did as a nurse practitioner, which is well within my scope of practice, is I developed a set of slides and offered an educational program based off of information from Pfizer and Moderna's product monographs. The product monographs are anytime you open any type of medicine, you have a white folded up piece of paper in there with all kinds of tiny writing. That is the product monograph, and that's the information from the developers of the products. And it kind of guides clinicians in terms of if you have concerns or questions about prescribing this product for a patient. Anyway, it is important to note, though, that at the bedside, meaning when nurse practitioners and physicians and nurses and other professionals were giving the COVID-19 vaccines, when they were administering it, inside the boxes with the vaccines that they had to prepare, the product monographs read intentionally left blank, meaning they did not want healthcare providers to be able to access that information readily. Nonetheless, it was available online, and I got it, and I built my presentation based on information from Pfizer and Moderna regarding their COVID-19 vaccines. So, in support of what I offered, there was a chief medical officer of health guideline that said somebody could decline the COVID-19 vaccine once they were educated about the product. Okay, so hey, the chief medical officer of health of Ontario, Canada, said it was cool to do this. I developed this program, and I offered the course online for free, really. I gave it to anybody. I wanted anybody who wanted the information to have it. But if you required a certificate to prove that you attended, I did charge a fee. I always said that, listen, this is not about money. Just, if you can't afford it, let me know. The other thing is I gave the letters out before receiving payment, so I don't even know if I received payment for half of them. Nonetheless, it wasn't about money. It was about giving people an opportunity to say no to this novel product with no long-term safety data, right? Patients have a right to say no. And so, especially with education, it's called informed consent. So I developed this course. I offered it for many, many people. And I did that from September of 2021 to February of 2022. As a result of me doing that, the College of Nurses of Ontario has put restrictions on my ability to practice in that I require supervision, among other things, right? And this doesn't reflect well, and obviously it makes me unemployable. No one's going to hire me, especially with my charges, right? It's all about COVID, and anything about COVID, people want to stay far away from, right? So it'd be hard pressed to find a clinic, a physician, a partner to work with me, given my charges, my allegations are related to the COVID-19 vaccine, and the fact that I am not in good standing with the College of Nurses of Ontario, which is the #1 requirement for any job. So they've rendered me virtually unhirable since February of 2022. I have not been able to earn a living since February of 2022. So as you can imagine, going from a certain salary to zero isn't the easiest thing to do. I was able to survive about 8 months, but after that, I didn't think that this process would take this long. Nonetheless, here we are. And as a result, I've lost everything, right? I've lost everything, like everything, right? And it is what it is. I'm not concerned about the things that I've lost. But what it is that a real eye-opener that the College of Nurses of Ontario, meaning the government of Ontario, because the college is an extension of the provincial government, have done this to a nurse accused of providing education about the COVID-19 vaccines. Now, those are not my allegations. My allegations are not what the evidence reflects that I did. That's the thing about these colleges. They can put whatever they want, whenever they want, and do whatever they want, right? They're virtually, there's unbound power with these professional governing bodies. So nonetheless, they can do whatever they want. So the allegations read differently, but what in fact I did and what the evidence showed was that I was offering an education session to people and then providing them with a certificate stating that I gave them that education, and as a result they're choosing to decline. They have chosen to decline the vaccine, which is their right. So this has what's gotten me to lose my whole career. Well, I haven't lost my career, I'm retired from it, but I've lost like my home, I've lost cars, I've lost everything. What this goes to show is that they're willing to do this to me because I was providing you, the public, with information. Not information I just made up or I got from YouTube or Instagram. I was providing the public with information from the developers of these vaccines, from Pfizer and from Moderna. I was offering that to the public for free. And as a result of me doing that, the College of Nurses and the government, as an extension, felt it necessary to do this to me, right, family? There's something really wrong. They didn't want you guys to know about the vaccines. They didn't want you to know the information. Something is really wrong, family. And I can see it quite clearly, but I know many of you might not be able to because you haven't lived it. But what has happened to me as a result of what I've done does not add up. There are nurses and nurse practitioners with allegations of sexual misconduct with patients. There's actually one nurse practitioner who's accused of forging 9 family members' COVID-19 vaccine documents. That's what their allegation is, right? In addition to getting a coworker to forge that this actual nurse practitioner received the COVID-19 vaccine. Both the nurses and nurse practitioners with sexual misconduct allegations against patients and this fraudulent nurse practitioner who forged documents, they do not have restrictions on their ability to practice nursing during their investigation and hearing process. But me, that provided education to the public, has been economically homicided. So family, listen, something's up, right? And it's easier to pretend like something's not weird and everything's normal. It's easier to do that. But we have to recognize something is wrong, family. Okay? Anyway, I wanted to share. I wanted to share this because it's important. I'm going to use myself as an example for people to recognize something is gravely wrong. Family, I urge everybody to really start to really pay attention to what's going on around us and open our eyes about what's happening around us, right? And so a lot of us feel if we're good, we're comfortable, we shouldn't really worry, but you have to sense the climate and the temperature, because we're all connected. If they can do it to me, they can do it to you, right? So family, thank you for taking the time to listen to my message. I really love and I value each and every one of you, family. One love.